Oh my gosh, you have to read this. This is phenomenal. And hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I am Devri Walls. I am a young adult fantasy and paranormal author. So today I wanted to do a book review for you guys. And I don't do these a lot because as an author, honestly, it's a little bit tricky to do book reviews because unless you love it, it gets a little sketchy. And I don't want to be sketchy. So I was in a bit of a reading slump. And I had picked up several books and nothing had really been grabbing me. And I felt like instead of being taken away in this beautiful story that I could relax in and love and treasure the way that I used to treasure books before I started writing them, and instead I would just feel like I was editing the book, because I would be like, what are we doing here and why is this happening? And I was so frustrated. And I had a book conference. So this was actually last year. So I was at Boise Book Fest, which is great. If you guys are anywhere near the Boise area, you should totally show up. It is happening again here in September, and I will be there along with a lot of authors from around the entire United States. It's pretty cool. But E.J. Mello, if you guys have ever read any of her stuff, she's fabulous. The Dreamer was her first book, and The Animal Beneath the Fur was her most recent. And she shows up off the airport with this book. And I'm not going to lie, this is not normally a type of cover that I would be attracted to. I'm a cover snob. I know, it's terrible, but it happens to a lot of us. The best of us book lovers, it happens to. And this is a very artistic, cool cover, but it's not my style. Now, it's very much EJ's aesthetic. When I see pictures of her apartment on Instagram, this is just very much the type of art that she would be attracted to. So she gets off the plane with this book and she's like, oh my gosh, you have to read this. This is phenomenal. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll pick it up. Yeah, I would not have picked it up. And she gets the book out of her bag and she hands it to me and she says, here, take this one. And I was like, you want me to take your book? She's like, yeah, I'll get another one. You have to read this. You take this one. So I'm like, okay. So I bring it home. And again, honestly, it probably would have sat on my shelf had she not given me the book for free. Because right now I have an obligation to read it because it just became a gift. So I picked up the book and I start reading. And it's brilliant. It is look, I'm tearing up. It is make me cry brilliant. It is, this book, V.E. Schwab manages to create something that, although not completely unique, right? Because it's about these basically alternate dimensions that are lined up next to each other, and Kel can travel between these dimensions. That's not necessarily a new concept, and yet she made it new, and she made it her own. And the characters were phenomenal, and the writing was just beautiful. There were these one-liners throughout this book consistently. I mean, her first line is, Kel wore a very peculiar coat. It had neither one side, which would be conventional, nor two, which would be unexpected, but several, which was, of course, impossible. And I was like, I'm in. I'm all in. And we keep going, and she keeps using just this language that is so, so lovely, mixed with these characters that are so relatable and lovable. And then you add in this world that she's created, these 4 different Londons with magic and, I have trouble talking about it, guys. Read the book. This entire book was beauty. There was really nothing in here that I did not like, that I did not agree with how she had done it. I loved book 2 was even better. Let's see, book 2, back here. A Gathering Shadows was even better than book 1, which very rarely happens. So that was so exciting to me because it's almost like when I go from a book that I love and I pick up book 2, I almost have this gun shy feeling because so often book 2 disintegrates into chaos. chaos or just is a complete waste of my time because they literally walk us in a circle, because the story was really 2 books, guys. It was 2 and the publisher wanted 3. So book 2 is a bloody mess. So I read book 2 and it was better than book 1, and V. Schwab was just amazing. So I'm going to tell you guys a funny story about, because I met her. She came to Boise. I am not a big fangirl. I don't know if it's just how I'm wired or if I've always kind of just held back from that a little bit, but I'm just not a big fangirl. Okay, so I went to the Backstreet Boys because my mother-in-law was like, hey, I have the hotel room, I have the tickets, like all you have to do is get to Vegas. And I was like, yeah, cool, okay. So I go. It was a great time. It was so fun hanging out with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and we had a blast. And then we get to the concert, right? Now, sure, of course I listened to Backstreet Boys songs when I was growing up. Like, I was right in that age group where they were super cool. I was not prepared for the level of fandom that would occur at this concert. Grown women screaming and freaking out, and like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I seriously sat there like this, like, that's my reaction. I don't even know what to do with that because I don't live in that place, and so I don't really understand that extreme like fandom feeling. I don't get it. So V.E. Schwab, however, comes to Boise, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. Like, I'm going and I'm getting these books signed, and I'm gonna buy her new one, the Savage Song and our Dark Duet. I'm gonna get those, and I'm gonna get them all signed. So I go and I listen to her talk, and now not only have I read her books and I love them, but listening to her speak, I can tell that she's just extremely intelligent person. She's someone that I would very much enjoy sitting down and having a conversation with, and that she would probably make me feel like an idiot, but that was okay. I was going to be okay with that. So now I'm impressed by her as a person as well. So I get up, I'm in line, I've got like my big old stack of books, I'm waiting, and I get up to the table, and I hand her my books, and like, I don't know what to say. And I feel this like giddy, like, oh my gosh. So, like the awesome person that I am, I'm like, I really like your books. And I'm like, what? So she's like, and she signs my books for me, hands them back, and I go on my very little way. As I'm walking back to the car, I'm like, what was that? I really like your books. Oh my gosh. So embarrassing. Oh well, at least I didn't like scream and like throw myself over the table at her, right? Could have been worse. So in closing, do I recommend A Darker Shade of Magic? Yes. Don't walk to the bookstore. Run to the bookstore right now. Pick up this book. Trust me, you need it. If you like fantasy at all, ever, you will like this book. Even if you don't particularly love fantasy, you will probably still like this book. She does it in this just brilliant way that she's combining fantasy with almost a steampunk kind of feel. She's got killer characters. Lila is amazing. Kel is fantastic. Like, they're all just wonderful. So please, please, please buy this book. If you've read this book and you want to talk to me about it, drop some comments down below. I would love that. If you pick up this book, let me know. Drop some comments down below. I would also love that. And finally, if you are like, who is this chick? DevriWalls.com, DevriWalls.com. You can get some information on me. You can find some information on my books. And if you've read anything of mine, I also would love to talk to you. Drop some comments down below. My videos will probably be pretty consistent with this feel because I can either pretend to be poised and delightful, or I can just be who I am, which is quirky and usually has a foot in my mouth. So that's what you're going to get. Okay, hopefully you guys liked what you saw today. Hopefully you go grab a book. If you'd like to subscribe, I would absolutely love that. Please click on that subscribe button and let's connect.